Move you, who me, know you, move you. Okay, that did not work whatsoever. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Gear Breaker Nation, where we give excellent assessment and reviews. And this time we're going to be reviewing the 2015 animated film Home. Now, Home is a 2015 computer animated comedy film, and the story takes place on Earth after this alien race known as the Boov invaded, and it follows this young girl named Tip and this fugitive Boov named O who are on the run. The story is pretty interesting, and of course it has its shared twist, but the bulk of it is these two characters actually forming a bond as they're on the run. The story does allow for some interesting action-oriented moments, some very fast-paced moments, some very comedic moments, and a lot of very emotional moments that help just bring more depth to this film. The voice performances are terrific. Jim Parsons plays O, and he does the character really well. You can tell he's very intelligent, and the way the Boov actually talk has a very funny dialect where it seems like they're saying things backwards or they're saying things in kind of plain tone, and it's funny because O's dialogue is just humor. You have Tip, a very likable character played by Rihanna, and you can tell that she's Rihanna because of her attitude and how she acts and how she speaks, and it's pretty cool. And because she has a very smart mouth, it's another interesting aspect of her character that kind of coincides with O's dialogue, and it makes for very comedic timing when it comes to these two interacting with one another. And I have to say, honestly, when I started watching this film, I didn't know Rihanna was in the film, and the whole time I'm like, that girl awfully reminds me of somebody. I do like the characters. They are a really good aspect of the film, but the highlight of the film not only is a great story with emotional moments and really interesting characters with great voice performances, but it has to be the CGI. The CGI is freaking amazing. There are so many scenes where it's very fast-paced, it's very flashy. The way everything is set up, it has this very vibrant look to it, and I think it does a great job. It's a very beautiful film, and because of the way the angles are at certain points in the movie, it does flesh out the visual effects even better. Again, I can't stress how much I really appreciate the dialogue, because I love really good witty dialogue and back and forth dialogue and well written dialogue, and I think that the film really nails it, not only between the two characters O and Tip, but between other characters also. Rihanna does a fantastic job with the soundtrack. There are so many moments where she just comes in, she fleshes out really emotional moments, she really fleshes out really action-packed moments. She does a great job of just her voice, and the music that just goes into this film is just great. It's done really well, and I kind of like the fact that it is her character that turns around and becomes her music also, so I think that was a pretty good thing. I didn't feel like they were just pushing too much Rihanna on me. I thought it was just enough Rihanna. I really appreciated her presence, not only with the character but also with the soundtrack. This is definitely a film that has some comedy in it. Some jokes do feel a bit flat and do feel a bit obvious. Also, I really appreciated the Boov technology. It wasn't nothing like completely like devastating Earth or anything like that. It felt more like a Dr. Seuss tribute, like with some of the stuff, like it was just so ridiculous. They were like, okay, if I seen that in Dr. Seuss, I wouldn't really question it. And now that I'm watching this, it kind of reminds me of Dr. Seuss, which made for some very awesome action sequences that were done really well. Now, at first, when I was watching this film, I felt like they were missing crucial elements to the story, which I thought kind of took me out of it. But then as the film started to reach its climax, I was like, okay, they addressed these issues. So I was like, okay, no wonder they kind of felt kind of lackluster on certain parts. And I'm glad at the end of the film did address those issues, which overall just enhanced the experience of the film. And I have to say, there are a few moments that do feel a bit rushed, moments where I wish could have been extended just a little bit for the sake of either fleshing out character actions or fleshing out this certain part of the story. But it isn't bad. It isn't to where it's going to ruin the overall experience of the film. Okay guys, time for the final verdict. Home is a great film. It does pull at some emotional strings. There are some really good comedic moments in the story. The action in the story is really good. I really enjoyed a lot of the great banter between the characters, because as I said, I love dialogue, and I think the characters were done really well. They had great voice performances. The soundtrack was awesome. The visual effects were really good. Aside from a few moments that feel like they were a bit rushed, I have to say that Home definitely deserves a 4 out of 5. it is a great animated movie, and I will admit that family can easily enjoy this. And if you're a fan of CGI films, you will most likely like this film also. So guys, in the comment section below, let me know, did you watch Home and did you enjoy it? Because I know personally I did. The soundtrack was great. I love the characters. And in fact, which one of the characters did you like more? Did you like O more or did you like Tip more? Okay guys, until the next edition of Gear Breaker Nation, and remember, keep those gears turning.